Hi guys, my name is Rel Klein and you're here for the second making up movie idea on the spot. So I think it went pretty well yesterday, and I feel like the more I do this, the easier it will get and the cooler the stories might end up being. If this is your first video you see of making up movie idea, basically what I do is I take randomly one genre, one place, three other things, items, and I have to come up with a movie idea. I try to get as detailed as I can, and you never know what you're gonna get, so it's interesting. I'm just gonna jump into it. I don't know what else to do. Okay, here's the genre. Pray for something good. Pray for something good. Kids film. Can you see it? I almost didn't make that genre, but I was like, let me do a kids film. So kids film could be, you know, be animated, but you know, still when you talk about animation, you still would pitch it and talk about it in the same way as a live action film. So yeah, I mean, basically I would make it PG or G. I guess kids film is. I don't usually, when I come up with ideas in my notebook, not a lot of them are kids film. A lot of them are like at least PG-13, so we'll see with that. Okay, place. As I said in my last video, sometimes the place is important, sometimes it isn't. So we'll see. It depends on really what I get and how it works with other stuff. The Midwest. So I don't know much about the Midwest because I've only been there once. I went to Chicago when I was like 8 years old. That counts as the Midwest, right? Yeah. So I feel like in the end, the Midwest won't matter that much unless it does. We shall see. Now, the three other items. There's a lot in here. Gotta make sure they're all done around. They're all good. Okay. 1, 2. I swear if I get one of the ones that I had yesterday. 3. Okay. We have night. So might be a little hard to do a whole movie in a night, especially when it's a kids film. But I feel like, you know, sometimes words have multiple meanings, or you could take what you want from them. That's really like, you know, the freedom I have with this. So maybe there's like a big important event in the movie that will happen at night. So there's that. Oh, we have an emotion here. Lonely. Oh God, this is a kids film. Okay. Oh. Here we have birth. Wow. It's so interesting because there's like a million different ways you can get words, because there's like over hundreds of words in here. Maybe over 1,000. I don't even know. Probably not over 1,000. But somewhere in the hundreds. God. So our genre is a kids film, so G or PG. It takes place in the Midwest, and it has to do with loneliness, a birth, and night. And now loneliness can be like multiple things, like, you know, multiple aspects of someone's life. They could be lonely. You know, a birth doesn't necessarily have to be a birth of a person. It could be like a birth of, you know, a new club or a new idea. Not much to go on here. I'm not gonna focus on the Midwest part because I don't think that's gonna have that much significance in this, but definitely I have to think about kids. I am gonna think about it, even though I'm gonna say it how I would present and talk about a film. I am gonna imagine it as an animation, animated, so I encourage you listening to this to also think of it animated. I'm thinking of that kids film. I didn't see it, the one storks with like, they like adopted kids and like the birth with that. I don't know. So I'm thinking about this family in the Midwest. Not mom and dad, they're not mom and dad yet. Husband and wife, and it's animated. And so they're, you know, in their 40s. I don't know why I said 40s like that. My mom had me at 41. But they're in their 40s, and, you know, they've been married for a while. You know, they've probably been trying for a while, but, you know, we won't show that side because it's a kids film. But then, you know, maybe one night they look up in the sky and, you know, they see a shooting star, and they wish upon the star for a kid. I'm looking at this lonely thing, and so I'm like, when can I use this lonely thing? You know, maybe at the beginning they're lonely without a child, but I feel like a lot of times the kids films, you know, there's a message, there's oh my god, I just had the word and I'm blanking on it. But you know, there's some kind of message, they want to teach a lesson. Was lesson my word? I don't know. They want to teach a lesson, they want to convey something, so maybe, you know, loneliness has something to do with the message about, like, you know, well, we'll see what the message is with loneliness once I go more into it. So they wish upon a star for a newborn. I feel like this has been done before, but we're just gonna go with it. And so, you know, they end up surprised they're pregnant and they have a kid. For a second I was like, what if I gave them twins or triplets? But we're not doing that. I don't know, because it's the lonely part. So they have this birth of a child. And it's animated. But the kid grows up and doesn't interact, you know, with the kids how they interact with each other. The kid is kind of an outsider, does things differently, so this can be shown through, you know, maybe they're younger in school, and, you know, I'm thinking of a boy, I don't know why, but the boy, which was the son, you know, plays differently from the other kids, you know, doesn't get along in the same way, kind of that lonely atmosphere. And, you know, the parents are like worried that there's, you know, something wrong with their child, like, you know, it was kind of a risk pregnancy, you know, it's kind of late in their life. They kind of get the kid tested. I had that personal experience. Found out I was dyslexic in like first grade because I was way behind the other kids. Anyway, this is not about me. This is about this. So maybe they get tested, but they can't find anything, you know, and oh, I just had an idea, because it's a kid film, so anything can happen. And there's a lot of ways I can go around this. You know, the kid's different, the kid grows up, so now I'm kind of thinking the kid maybe near the end of elementary school or the beginning of middle school is kind of where the majority of this movie will take place. So this kid's kind of lonely, but, you know, his parents are so supportive of him and loves him so much and gives him the world, and, you know, that can be shown through multiple scenes, like maybe them cooking and like watching TV and playing sports, whatever. But, you know, the kid is lonely in life, you know, he, you know, doesn't have friends. And then, you know, we're still in the first act, but then he's maybe one day walking, and he walks by maybe one of those like doggy care places, and you know, he sees like all these dogs playing with each other, hanging out, and then there's a dog in the corner just like by itself, and you know, he like thinks about himself, like he has that experience, and so he goes up to the dog and like, you know, tries to pet it, and the dog starts talking to him. It's a kid's film. And it's animated, so the dog is talking to him, and he's like so surprised. He's like, what's happening? And you know, the dog is confused too, like, oh my god, you can hear me. And so he starts talking to the dog, and they're friends, but he can't talk to the other dog, and he's like, why can I talk to you and not the other dogs? And so the dog doesn't know. And so, you know, the kid goes to school the next day, you know, still kind of lonely, doesn't have any friends, but he has this new look on his face, he has this new way he sees life, because he's next day, and I mean not the next day, but at the end of the day, he goes back to, you know, the dog daycare. Wait, it should not be a dog daycare. It should be like a dog adoption place. Yes, a dog adoption place, not a dog daycare. A dog adoption place. And he, you know, goes talks to the dog again, and you know, has that same experience. And so, you know, this maybe go on for a few days. You could see a cute little montage scene. I love montage scenes, guys. I do. And then finally one day, you know, his parents are trying to like see if he has friends at school, talk to him, and he's like, there's this dog and we have such a connection. So his parents, you know, feel bad for him, give him the world, so you know, they adopt the dog. And so he talks to this dog, the dog talks back to him, and you know, this dog becomes his best friend. But he's still lonely. He's still at school, feels lonely, and he doesn't want to go to school. Like as soon as he gets to school, he just wants to go back home. He wants to be with his dog. And so then one day he's walking his dog, and he sees, you know, all these birds hanging out on a tree, and all the birds are hanging out with each other except this one bird that's far away. And so that one, and you know, they both feel it in themselves, like, oh wow, like, you know, we both have felt that. And the bird starts talking to them, that one bird that's separate from the others. And it's the same kind of thing as the dog. Like, you know, the bird is, what am I saying? Yeah. The bird is lonely, and they can talk to that bird, but they can't talk to other birds. So he takes the bird home. And he, you know, his parents are like, what, a bird now? But he like makes a haven for it. And so another time he's walking his dog, and they go by a cat adoption place, and the same thing happens. All the cats are hanging out, and there's this one cat alone. And so he, you know, he gets his parents to adopt the cat, so now he's a cat. The same thing with a hamster, and maybe a frog, and maybe a fish. Oh my god. And he has all these pets, and now he has all these pets, and he's hanging out with all these pets. And it's amazing when he's home and he has all these pets. But then, you know, at school he's still lonely and stuff. And so one day he like pretends he's sick and he can't go to school. And he does this for like a week or something, and his parents are like, we know what it is, but like if you know, stay home from school, if you don't go, you know, back to school, you just want to stay home with your pets, we're going to give your pets away, you have to go to school. So he goes to school, he deals with school and everything. And then one day when he's at school, the original dog, you know, comes running up and runs against the mirror window, and he screams at him. He's like, one of the pets got lost. I don't know, should it be like a hamster or a cat? I don't know, one of the pets got lost. And we're all looking out for him, but he's in danger. So he flees school, you know, goes on the search with all these pets and animals, looking for this hamster or whatever it is. God, this is crazy kids film. He does that. This is my first time coming up with a kids film, guys. God, this is a terrible video. Anyway, so they're looking for the pet, and you know, retrieve the hamster right before you're about to get like hit by a car or something, like something a little bit dangerous but not too much because it's a kid's film. Maybe someone's about to step on it, who knows. So he saves the hamster, but his parents are really, really mad at him because he left school. So they start, you know, giving away some of the pets, and you know, they don't send them off to shelters. You know, they give it to people who want to adopt them. It's a kid's film. Should he keep the dog? Should they let him keep the dog? No, they don't let him keep the dog. They don't. So he's all alone now, again. And he goes back to school and he's lost. He goes home, he's lost. He used to love going home so he could be with all his pets. Now he hates going home. It's a kid's film. Animated kid's film. He hates going home. And so, you know, he goes to the new dog's owner and he talks to the dog, and the dog is like, I will always be your best friend. We will always be here for you. But you need to, you know you're different, you know you're special, but you need it, you know that you are never alone. You always have us. You are never alone. And he finally goes to school one day, and it's been years since he's like really interacted with these other kids because, you know, he's had bad experiences in the past, but now he's older, you know, and stuff, and he's been through a lot. He made all these friends. He knows the dog runs him. You made us. We are all your friends. You know how to talk to friends. You have the power in you. So he goes and he talks to some kids, and like, it's not perfect, but it's not bad either. It's okay, it's chill, it's dope. He sits at someone's table, and then, you know, eventually he's doing okay. And so one day there's a new kid at school, and, you know, other kids are singling him out, and he feels alone. But this kid, he has such a good heart, so he goes up to the kid and he becomes friends with him. And that's how the film ends. That's my first time doing a kid's film. Oh god. I swear I've never thought of a kid's idea for, but I think that was okay. So yeah, it takes place in the Midwest. Didn't really matter to the story, except that West, I would think of the suburbs, and it does feel like a very suburban vibe to it. The night part really only really important in the beginning with the shooting star. The same with the birth, but I did use the part of lonely for most of it. So yeah, I think the theme, the lesson, the message they're trying to teach kids is that you are actually never alone, and you always have the power in you, and you can get through anything. I don't know the message. But yeah, I thought the talking animals is very kids film like. I feel like there probably has been done before. A couple can't get pregnant, they wish against a shooting star, and they have a birth. But I think the idea is unique. Well, there's been talking animals before, but like the idea is unique, and I think there is a message to it, so it's not the worst thing ever. But it is my first kids film idea, so good for that. Very unique, very different. I don't have anything else to say other than I hope you enjoyed. That was, I definitely struggled more than I did yesterday, and I thought it was gonna be easier, but I didn't. I think this is longer because I did go into more specifics. So I think that's why this video is going to be longer. I did struggle a little bit, but I think I did okay, and I'm excited to do this again tomorrow. Like, you literally never know what you're gonna get. Like, this last thing I never thought I would get. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's that. So, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Love you guys, and bye.